In 1978, beneath 3 meters of Arctic ice, Soviet researchers recorded something moving where nothing that size should have survived. Not drifting, not swimming blindly, moving with direction. Before we open this file, subscribe to the channel and enter the archive. Every case we investigate walks the line between extinction, myth, and possibility, and some of them were never meant to be found. The official expedition logs from March 1978 describe a routine subglacial survey conducted in the Arctic Ocean north of the Siberian continental shelf. The mission objective was geological, ice thickness mapping, mineral sampling, and testing a new deep-water remotely operated vehicle designed for under-ice navigation. The region was considered biologically sparse due to extreme pressure, near-freezing temperatures, and minimal light penetration during winter months. At 0243 local time, the submersible's sonar returned an anomaly. At first, operators believed it to be interference from shifting ice. The signal appeared as a dense mass, roughly 12 meters in length, moving parallel to the vehicle at a depth of 620 meters, ice above, abyss below. The Arctic deep is not empty. It contains amphipods, jellyfish, small fish adapted to pressure and darkness. But large heat-generating vertebrates are rare at such latitudes and depths. Baleen whales migrate through open waters, not beneath solid winter ice sheets hundreds of kilometers from open sea. The anomaly maintained distance for approximately 40 seconds. Then it changed course. Video records from the submersible showed darkness illuminated only by twin forward floodlights. Snow-like particulate matter drifted through the water column. For a brief moment, the lights caught texture, not rock, not ice, skin. The surface appeared pale, almost translucent gray, with faint striations running longitudinally along the body. Not scales, not smooth cetacean hide, something in between. The camera operator adjusted angle and zoom, the frame filled with a massive curvature that passed close enough to scatter the particulate field in a visible turbulence. The recording cuts out 12 seconds later. Officially, the malfunction was attributed to pressure fluctuation damaging the external wiring harness. Unofficially, internal notes describe possible biological contact. The recovered footage, declassified decades later in fragmented form, shows only 2 clear frames of the organism. They reveal a body at least 10 to 12 meters long, cylindrical, but tapering toward a powerful tail structure. No visible dorsal fin, no obvious pectoral fins within the captured angle. Along the lateral region, faint ridged structures suggest reinforced musculature or protective cartilage bands. Most disturbing was the movement. It did not undulate like a typical fish. It propelled itself with controlled, minimal motion, conserving energy, gliding more than swimming. The tail movement was slow but powerful, generating displacement disproportionate to visible effort. 3 days after the initial encounter, hydrophones deployed beneath the ice detected low-frequency acoustic emissions in the 14 to 18 Hz range, below the threshold of human hearing. Sustained, rhythmic, not consistent with known Arctic marine mammals. The sound pattern lasted 19 minutes. Marine biologists later compared the waveform to baleen whale communication, but noted critical differences. Whale songs are structured, patterned, often melodic. This signal was uniform, resonant, almost mechanical in consistency, a pulse rather than a song. The working classification within the expedition's private log labeled it Large Unidentified Subglacial Organism. Skeptics have proposed that the footage captured a Greenland shark. These sharks can exceed 6 meters in length and are known for slow movement in cold depths. However, the estimated length of the recorded organism nearly doubles that size. Additionally, Greenland sharks display clear fin structures and a distinct head profile absent in the available frames. Another theory suggests a misidentified bowhead whale navigating beneath thinner ice corridors. Yet bowhead whales require access to breathing holes and maintain migratory routes. The recorded location was surrounded by continuous ice coverage extending hundreds of kilometers. There is also the matter of eye reflection. One enhanced frame, rarely circulated, shows a faint glint near what analysts believe to be the anterior portion of the body. The reflective point sits lower and more forward than typical cetacean eye placement. The spacing suggests binocular orientation, predatory, rather than filter-feeding adaptation. If accurate, this was not a plankton feeder. In 1982, a second Soviet expedition returned to the region equipped with upgraded sonar arrays. No official anomalies were reported. However, a private journal entry from a junior engineer described shadow mass below ice shelf detected briefly at 700 meters before vanishing into deeper trench zones. The Arctic Ocean contains fracture systems and abyssal plains exceeding 4,000 meters in depth. Beneath stable ice sheets lie ecosystems still poorly understood. Hydrothermal vents, methane seeps, and isolated thermal pockets could theoretically support localized food chains. Could a large vertebrate survive there? From a biological standpoint, several conditions would be required: extreme cold tolerance, pressure-resistant physiology, a slow metabolic rate, efficient energy conservation, likely bioluminescent or low-light adapted vision, a food source sufficient to sustain body mass. Gigantism in deep-sea organisms is not unprecedented. Giant squid reach lengths exceeding 10 meters. Oarfish grow similarly long in pelagic zones. However, both are structurally fragile compared to the robust mass suggested in the Arctic footage. The ridged lateral structures visible on the organism could indicate reinforced connective tissue, perhaps an evolutionary adaptation to withstand subglacial ice shifts or predator encounters in confined under-ice corridors. There is another possibility. During the Pleistocene epoch, marine ecosystems differed significantly. Megafauna occupied niches that later collapsed due to climate shifts and human expansion. It is conceivable that an isolated lineage of deep-diving marine predator retreated permanently beneath expanding Arctic ice, evolving over millennia in near-total darkness. Isolation can preserve species in unexpected ways. The coelacanth survived in deep marine pockets for millions of years, unknown to modern science until the 20th century. Tube worms thrive in volcanic vent systems once thought incapable of sustaining life. Entire ecosystems have been discovered beneath Antarctic ice shelves only in the last few decades. The Arctic remains one of the least explored oceans on Earth. In 1997, an unusual acoustic event known as the Julia Sound was recorded by NOAA hydrophones in the Pacific sector of the Arctic. Though widely attributed to ice fracturing, some acoustic analysts noted biological-like modulation within the waveform. The event lasted 15 seconds. Its origin remains debated. Correlation does not confirm identity, but the frequency range overlaps with the 1978 recordings. If a large predatory vertebrate has adapted to permanent subglacial existence, it would rarely surface. It would avoid open water shipping lanes. It would navigate beneath ice sheets, feeding on deep-dwelling fish, cephalopods, and possibly scavenging whale falls descending into abyssal zones. Its size would be both an advantage and a limitation. Massive mass retains heat efficiently in freezing environments, but reproduction would require stable breeding grounds. Juvenile survival in such extreme conditions presents a significant challenge. This suggests either a very small population or an exceptionally slow life cycle spanning decades. The 1978 expedition concluded without public incident. Equipment damage attributed to environmental stress, acoustic data archived, video fragments sealed within military research facilities. No official species designation was ever proposed. As Arctic ice continues to thin in modern decades, previously inaccessible regions are becoming navigable. Increased commercial shipping and undersea cable installation have introduced new sonar sweeps into deep Arctic corridors. In 2019, a Norwegian research vessel reported a transient sonar return at 640 meters beneath seasonal ice cover. The object measured approximately 9 meters in length and exhibited steady, linear movement against prevailing currents. The anomaly disappeared before visual confirmation. The report was filed as unverified biological mass. Perhaps that is all it is, an anomaly. Yet the original 1978 footage remains difficult to dismiss. The scale, the controlled propulsion, the acoustic resonance. These elements do not align cleanly with known Arctic marine life. If something large evolved to live permanently beneath the ice, it would experience a world of darkness and pressure few surface species could endure. Its sensory systems might rely more on vibration than sight. Its communication might travel in infrasonic pulses through dense water and ice. And if it perceived the submersible in 1978 as an intrusion rather than prey, its decision to approach rather than flee suggests intelligence, or at least curiosity. There are no skeletal remains, no tissue samples, no clear modern footage. Only a brief encounter in freezing darkness and a signal too structured to be random noise. The Arctic has long concealed things beneath its ice: lost expeditions, submerged vessels, entire ecosystems frozen in time. Concealing a species adapted to that environment would not be impossible. Perhaps what the Soviet submersible encountered was not a relic from the past, but a lineage that never needed the surface world at all. And somewhere beneath the shifting plates of Arctic ice, beyond the reach of sunlight and satellite, something still moves in slow, deliberate silence, massive, unseen, and perfectly at home, where we can barely survive.